So the final speech of this section is from Green Meadow. Can we have Bertie, please? Give Bertie a big clap.
Today, I want to share a story from my mum's past. In primary school, her class visited the Bayeux Cemetery, where soldiers from many nations lay, victims of the world wars. My mum's headmaster left a note in the visitor's book that read, "May our children grow up to hate war." Now this story, when first heard, struck a chord in my heart, for I know no child that welcomes war, regardless of era or location. Now, this very story is almost 40 years old, so tell me, despite the lessons and sacrifices of the past, why does war still exist today? Why? Coming from my diverse background, having a mum from Britain and a dad from what was previously called the USSR, I have heard stories from various perspectives. But the problem today, internationally, lies in people believing their explanation is the only truth. But we must consider experiences on all sides. For imagine being a child again, and being a child in Ukraine, with relatives in Russia, most likely without the standard living conditions such as food, water, electricity, and gas, and how that would feel to you. We must remember that children often see the adult reasons for conflict as childish, unable to understand why we can't solve our differences. Wars start from disagreements and is worsened by a lack of listening. History has shown how propaganda can distort perception, manipulate people, and even make them turn against their peers. But no child desires war. They don't judge based on race, religion, age, gender, sexual orientation, or any of the other differences. Yes, no child desires war. They instead are naturally curious, and they ask why in an attempt to listen, comprehend, and understand. Yes, no child desires war. When it comes to first impressions, children don't see any difference other than the soul you are on the inside. These are the reasons why I think adults should recognise and embrace the inner curious child. Children trust adults to tell them the truth, and they are open to listening to all kinds of opinions, like most adults should be, but aren't. Let us not forget the children affected by conflict without choices. Listening to different perspectives expands understanding, so carry these stories in your heart and learn from what you hear. Encourage others to listen, not only to other people, but to the curious and understanding inner child within. For that's how we solve problems, by listening. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.
Bertie, thank you for giving a voice to those often unheard voices of the children of war. Something that you said in your speech was that there's childish reasons for adult wars, and I wish all of our leaders could see that as well as you can. Thank you.
Bertie, I think you just need a bigger audience. More people need to hear that, and the way that you did it was incredibly mature, incredibly powerful. I'm very, very impressed.
It was really impressive. I could see you addressing the United Nations with that speech. Very, very well done indeed.
Thank you, Bertie.